Alright, now we're going to work on the sanding part of your project. You have three types of sandpaper. You have a black one, that's 600. You don't need that one until a later day, so just put that in your box. You have a 220 and a 120. The 120 is a more coarse grit, and the 220 is a little lighter. Every piece you're going to first do the 120, then the 220. You've got a vise here that works. This clamp, there's instruction how to use it. You pull it out, and then for the first piece I'm going to do is this piece, your part D. And you're going to push it in, give it, I like it nice and high so I don't hit my fingers on the clamp, and then you tighten it down. Take the 120 first. And all you got to do is, this feels kind of nice and rough from what we sanded. You're just going to sand over the edges and fold this up, get a nice edge on it. You can feel it, make sure you got everything. You'll feel all the rough parts gone. It's going to be pretty rough still after using this, but you take the 220. I'm kind of going around the corners to make sure I can get kind of a nice edge to it. So that one's done. Make sure you do both pieces. You can see the difference. I might smooth that one still is kind of rough. Set those off to the side. When I'm done with each piece, what I like to do to keep track, put it in the box. And now I'm going to take this part C. This part C, you do not need to do this edge, or this back edge, or this edge. You got to do this side right here. Maybe you can see this little edge right here. I'm going to try to get that edge off. Just sand this whole thing. It's pretty smooth right now. That router does a good job, but make sure I get it good. I gotta hold it up. Take my 120 again. I can find a nice, better spot if I want to, and just and that little lip. When you sand this edge, make sure you take your time to get the lips out on the side. It'll take a while to get them out, but use the 120 when sanding, and just spend a little bit of time on the edges and you'll get it. Make sure you get the top, just curl the sandpaper around the edges and you'll be in pretty good shape. You'll have to sand the edges out on part C and part A the same. Down to my 220. 220 is going to be a lot easier. Doesn't take much time. Nice and smooth edge, I like it, and I feel it. So again, make sure you do both of those pieces. You can see the difference. A little lip. Mine's nice and smooth now. Take that done piece, put it in the box. And this piece is going to be a little bit more challenging to do, but you're going to sand every edge down here. Idea, I should sand a little bit more than that for now. And the last piece is your part A. This piece. This is going to be a little more challenging. You're going to have sometimes a real good lip here, and so I'm going to show you getting one of them done here. Now, I'm going to stand mine up like this to begin with. My sandpaper is pretty beat up, and I can take it like this. Sometimes you can rip it and ask for another piece of sandpaper. Get that little lip off there. Make sure it's gone on both sides. Like that. And again, just real quickly with the 220, maybe open it up. Nice and smooth. All the black is gone. Now do the same thing over here. Again, you got to do this edge just like we did our part C's. Next, I'm going to show you how to do the box sanding on day 3. And it's important that you both students get this done. And so, just like the sticker says, that you should both focus on getting this done early on day 3, so you don't wait till later. Over here, right next to the station, make sure that your gate is open, so that way the vacuum system will work. Just simply pull that open. You need to make sure that you box sand every one of these pieces on both sides. Each side of every single piece. And I'm just going to do a few of them just so you get the idea. This can be done very quickly if you follow my techniques here. If you grab the sander with your left hand underneath here, your right hand on top, and the on-off switch is right here. And you don't ever grab it from the back end. This is just a dust collector of its own. So you just left hand here, right hand on here. And you're able to push down as you sand it. So when I'm going to turn this on, you're going to hear a loud vibration. It's going to come back and forth. You also need to check the bottom of your sander. If this sandpaper is completely worn out, you can ask your instructor for another piece. So again, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to turn it on and sand back and forth, and this surface will become much smoother. Now, this edge is much smoother. All you do is just simply turn it over and do this other side. Now, in order to do this, to get this done very quickly, I'm going to show you a technique. I'm just going to leave the sander on the whole time, never turning it off, and I'll just hold on with one hand and switch the pieces of wood with the other. So, turning it on. While the first person is box sanding all the parts, this will take a couple minutes. The other partner can hand sand for those few minutes. Once the first partner is done box sanding, then they should switch spots, so that way they both can get done with box sanding right away, and then continue hand sanding the whole class period.